of what you have to say, but people that I trust tell me that I should be paying attention. And as a service to all of those that listen to me and have also seen my videos with others like Ben Fulford and Anna von Reitz and Stasha Stone, and one day I hope David Icke, I really want to make a genuine effort to give you a platform to put out some answers. Now, I have received enormous praise for the first interview that we did. And I've had a lot of people say, we have more questions. Don't limit yourself to 30 minutes. Well, I still want to limit myself to 30 minutes, but you and I have agreed to go through these 12 questions, and at the end of it, you'll have kind of an open platform to say whatever you want at the end. So are you ready to start?
Yes, it's an honor to be here, honor to give closure to your audience, Robert, and thank you very much for having me on.
You know, Russell, closure is a very good word. I think people are seeking closure, and I think that you and others are part of how this collective intelligence is going to come together. So I respect you enormously, and even though I may not understand all of this stuff, I think it's very important. So here's question number one. You talked last time about a quantum financial system that you've created that could be implemented to benefit everyone in a fair way. Can you just elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes, I created the quantum banking system in 2001, and I published the quantum banking system and the charters for that with 82 nations at the United Nations, as well as the World Bank, the IMF, and all stock markets on planet Earth. With this interface on quantum grammar that my ex-business partner, who's now dead, David Winkle and Miller and myself created. David was a witness on the bank charters. He had no authorization within the banking construct. So I want to clarify that up front because of the knowledge concerns. It took a lot to build. It took me years and years and years of searching out, and it's a commodity-based banking system based on value for value, where there are no derivatives and no things getting ahead of each other. I developed a digital currency platform called Crypto-Currencies, and ever since then, I've seen a lot of plagiarism off my concepts. But my concepts bring a lot of accountability when you use my system. It pre-positions the facts or the conditions, so we can look into the condition of mind on why things are being done or aren't being done in contract, and it creates a fair level playing field for performance because of the translation, where I can go in and out of all languages in the world, and I lose no deviation of my sentence structure. And it took me on a voyage, if you'd like to say, to comprehend the very functions of what makes contracts. I disqualified the charters for the International Bureau of the Weights and Measures, or of Weights and Measures, which was an adverb verb. And I created the Global-Bureau of the Weights and Measures. And I basically placed a claim to use the characters and symbols for communication as we use it for alphabets, punctuation, numbers, math algorithms, and in sequence to create a platform of fairness to translate from one language to another for the people of the world.
Well, what I hear you say is value-based, no derivatives. I assume you also mean full transparency?
Yes. The values. I was when the Obama people were in there. I was making a run. I'm very good in the lab and chemistry. In chemistry, I have my own periodic tables, and I follow those functions on positive performance on electron shells and stuff. And I don't want to get into the complications of that, but when I published it, within 72 hours, the NSA, the Department of Defense, and the U.S. Treasury pulled me off the street to have a conversation about what I had just done, what I had just created. But it was a good conversation. But when Obama and them were in there, they didn't really like me a whole lot, and I didn't really care for them a whole lot. And they raided my labs and shut me down. But when Mr. Trump got into office, one of the things that he did say was, he appreciates someone that does hard work. And so I went down to Washington, D.C., to the headquarters of the U.S. Secret Service and, told them, hey, I'd like to go back to work to help the American people. I have concepts in my technology does away with extracting metals, precious metals out of the earth, and deals with more of electron manipulations to stabilize shells and create wealth without mining, per se. I can authenticate based on what I can get out per pound. out of certain ore bodies that I've been profiling for years. And those ore bodies don't actually have to be taken out of the ground. You know, I'm about not tearing down the earth. I'm about giving to the earth. And so I'm against the chemtrails, and I'm against the things that the chemistry that they're running at us with their nanobot scientific war, and, you know, the 5G and the things for manipulations. And so please comprehend that because of the martial law, all civil courts are closed on the planet. It's a martial law theater. I took down the World Court at The Hague and the shipping lanes into the World Court of The Hague when I was conducting a military court-martialing against the Bush gang on January 6th of 2005. That was logged in with the undercover agents of the FBI who were accompanying David, and I was going over to the World Court at The Hague, but U.S. Customs didn't have jurisdiction over me, and so they moved me around Homeland Security because I was traveling at that point. I didn't have a passport, and I was mailing myself through my secrets. You know, your fortunes are your secrets, and I was mailing myself around their encompassing arm, so to speak, and U.S. Customs took me around to the airplane pilot, and they cut me off. The airplane pilot goes, "You're a smart guy." They said, "You may be able to defeat all this, but can you fly a plane?" And I was like, no, I can't fly this plane. He goes, "Well, I'm the captain of this vessel, and you know, you have not paid with us the bond for us," and they wouldn't let me board. But David went over to the World Court at The Hague and filed in my documents, and those contracts were lodged in, and I syntaxed the clerk of court's shipping the communication back to me and sued them for fictitious grammar. And basically it was a contract conducting, I don't want to get into technicalities because I'm trained in a lot of campaign and theater, you know, military movement stuff as a muster-master, muster-master general, and paymaster general, and secretary of the Navy's office.
Well, let's move on, because I really want to get to these questions. Yeah. Now, you talked last time about copious amounts of wealth being stolen on 9/11, and I've heard that all of the vaults were emptied. Yes, and there are rumors that a lot of gold was smuggled out, which was supposed to create a gold-backed system. In other words, the good guys may have taken the gold rather than the bad guys. I continue to think 9/11 was all bad guys. Yeah. What's your take on that?
I tend to believe that 9/11 was about all the bad guys, based on why are we killing American citizens? And so when somebody's willing to kill American citizens, I would have to classify that as a bad guy in my world, because I love the people of this country, and I love the land and the waters and all the beauty that's here. So,
well, then here's the next question, because some people would put you right up there with QAnon, which can either be a compliment or a curse. Do you have any views on QAnon? That's question number 3.
On QAnon, well, a lot of people have accused me of being QAnon. A lot of people have said a lot of things. I can just say that I have no computer access to any of the algorithms or anything that they're logging in, but they are bringing a sense of cognition to the American people and to the people of the world. And people of the world need fairness. We don't need any more no's. We need yes. We need yes, we want cures. Yes, we want clean air. Yes, we want clean water. Yes, we want clean chemistry going into our food. And so we don't need that anymore. Well, what the people of the world need is a simple yes. We're going to fix this, and it's happening now. So it's about coming together, and
I really like that. That resonates with me. And one of the reasons I'm paying attention to you is because there's a balance between the stuff that I can't understand and the stuff that I can understand, and you're hitting it on the stuff that I can understand. Yes. Now, if you had a chance to work with President Trump and support President Trump and making America great again over the next 60 days, what would you do in terms of resetting the law, mining gold? Apparently there's a lot of gold underneath all of the national parks and areas that the federal government has, in my view, illegally taken from the states. What are your thoughts? What 3 big boom, boom, booms could you give the president going toward Election Day?
Well, it'd be, first of all, flag authorizations because of I'm the guy in the congressional records, me and David, when we filed for the flag on August 12th, 1999. And we have the 4th masters of,
but what does that do for the president tangibly?
Well, what it would do is open up the ability to create portage and to kind of free the land, so to speak, and give him access to what we call a post road into a position to then now leverage the value in the ground to create certificates against that, and then leverage that to the beneficiaries, both federal contractors and the people of this country.
How do you feel about absentee landlords? I mean, I really am huge on people of the land, and I don't see where the land can be sold to some bank in a foreign country.
Well, I would concur with that 100%. First of all, in order to sell things, they have to have a post road and a ship's channel, and there are mechanical things on ship's channels where the United States Postal Service, due to their violation of Title 39, Section 101, subsection A and subsection B, in the presidential election of 2000, where they created the Florida Chads to the ruse to the people. And so since that violation, the authorization to sell our ports, to sell our lands, to diversify and do a kind of a terraforming and to set up safe havens for foreign entities in our land is completely false and misleading. And the countries that bought those are also engaged in false and misleading because under Title 42, 1986, knowledge of the facts and stopping and correcting of the wrong, they have not engaged in any stopping and correcting of any wrong. And this soil was bought and paid for by our forefathers' blood. And we need to honor that as we look at what is going on here. So people need to be warned and be cognizant that our freedoms were not won by that of a registered gun. They were won by the fact of the blood, sweat, and tears of those people who conveyed their lives on the line for our very freedoms that we have today.
I think there is definitely something to be said for having a conversation about who owns the land and whether we have had, in fact, a very illegal Congress that has not had the authority to act in our name. Now, how do you feel about these state assemblies that Anna von Reitz talks about?
Well, here's the thing with that, okay? So when I was coming up through my things, and I went toe-to-toe with many state attorney generals. I've been in the courtroom so many times I can't even begin to count. And one of the things that I had was, if the state, where's their money? Where's their money? Because birth certificates don't count anymore as collateral on deposit with vital statistics because the birth certificate system ended in 1999. So where's the money? Where's the flag? These are good people that are definitely trying to make a difference in their space. The techniques, because of what I know of shipping, I would very much so. And a lot of these people are kind of new into the theater, right? They're in the last 5-10 years, they've all popped up. Whereas I've shown a continuance track record for 24 years to maintain the rules of the continuance of the evidence as a judge and as a functioning steward of the systems that I've built for the people of this country and for the people of the world ultimately. But, we have to take care of our home front first, and I care and love each and every one of my friends that don't comprehend me. But
okay, now this is you're losing me here. So, bottom line is the value in the land, and the value in labor, and the value in performance are where the new emerging economy has to be rooted, rather than in the financialization, the derivatives, the fraud, the naked short selling. So, in essence, I although I don't understand it, I'm beginning to see that the president has a chance to create a new economy that is rooted in real value and that delivers that value to the labor rather than the capital, which is fraudulent. So, what about global currencies? Who has the authority to set currency value?
Well, I disqualified all stock markets on the planet for fictitious grammar. I also disqualified the Bureau of Weights and Measures, as well as the International Maritime Commission. The reason why I did that is maritime commissions dealt with contract being the style of how a vessel paper comes into location. And so these are things that I created. I filed in as a comptroller of the global-currency long before anybody even had these concepts in their mind, long before, people are like, we need to have a new commerce and do this and that. And so I have my own global currencies as well as my land currencies. I don't know if you can see that, but mine are based on lighthouses. Mine are based on navigating the navigational buoy, so to speak, and articulate closure from location to location on ley lines and some of the things that I was trained in. and some of the things that unfortunately